2005 NFL MVP, two-time first-team All-Pro, three-time Pro Bowler, all-time leading rusher for the Seahawks. Big game tonight. We got a big college game to talk about. We're dancing, we're boxing, we're doing Shaun Alexander. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm excited. I have a lot of questions for you. I really do. I've got a lot. There's a lot. I'm looking at like the leaderboard for the running backs this year. There's some the guys that we expect. I'm curious about the state of the future running back, the health of it for generations to come. But we do have a big game tonight to kick off Week 4. Seahawks, your Seahawks taking on the Cardinals on Thursday Night Football. Can you take me through this 88-yard touchdown run from Week 9 of the 2005 season?
You know what? I can. You know, we actually called 98 handoff solid.
Okay.
Crazy is I came out of the locker room, not with the team because I wasn't really feeling good. Came out of the bathroom. Coach didn't even know I was on the field. I just ran right to the field, sit Maurice Morris to the sideline, ran, cut back, and as I was running, I knew they had a couple guys that ran 4.2-ish. And so I thought, all right, I'm just going to run till I feel somebody lean at the end. He missed me. Home run.
I love that you're smiling. Look at you right there. What are you thinking right there?
You know what? That was the MVP year. So I just knew that I was in this groove.
Yeah.
And so every play felt like it was the right call. So I just knew, like, trust my instincts, trust what the line's doing, you know, play around the table as a little kid. You know, I got 4 older brothers. So I you know, if they're all going red, I used the table around, you know. And so that's how I played the game. I just went out and had fun and read the reads and then hit the hole.
I definitely want to get into some of these running back storylines around the league, but the news, there's a story right now that's like not the headline, but I want to ask you about Micah Parsons. Not about him, not just the situation that's unfolding, okay? So basically, it's Packers Cowboys, huge game. It's like beautiful, good theater. I'm popping the popcorn, I'm sitting down. Apparently, the Cowboys are not doing anything to like show him love. So Jerry Jones said it wouldn't be appropriate. And I'm just curious, like you've been around the game so long, like, is that the right thing? This is a 4-time All-Pro for their team. What should happen when he comes back? Should they, like, honor him in some way? What are the unwritten rules?
Yeah, actually my last game ever was for the Redskins against the Seahawks. You know, and I've played all these years with Seahawks, 6 games there. And, you know, the fans cheered when I was around, but like there was nothing like, hey, let's honor. I feel a little bit of that is just this culture, like, hey, we owe this person something, you know? I think they just play the game.
Yeah, so you don't think that that's that it's just what needs
like
to be done?
I feel like if it was his last year and he was like, I'm retiring, then yeah,
okay.
like let's blow this up. Like he deserves that. But he's like he's not even in his prime yet, honestly. Like he's gonna have another great year, and then next year he's gonna be like in his prime. He's gonna have like 4 amazing years. That's when I just think you give all the roses like on like their last year or maybe the second last year. Like he's still like, yeah, he's just amazing.
The more I think about this, you're right. Like, why would you want to like gas up or hype up somebody who's about to take your quarterback out? Like, what are we doing?
Right. Like, I just think like it's not time yet. Like, if it was his last year, if he was like, this is my last album, let's give him all the roses. You know what I mean? But like, he's got like 7, 8, 15 great years, 8 great years, but he's still going to have. So why give it to him so much then?
Using your own experience then, and you're at a different point in your career. He's in his prime going up against his team. It's all very fresh. It didn't go over early in the offseason. It was like this is like recent, and now that we get this Week 4. What do you think Micah Parsons has in store for his old team?
Well, when you have his kind of talent, you just know you play your game, and that's what he's going to do. And so ideally, I think he's going to go off and be very disruptive, but in his own mind, he's like, play your game, but give them the best version of yourself, and he's probably going to do that. He's talented. He's pretty special.
You talked about your MVP year. We're looking at that highlight. You know, there's a lot of talk about SAQUON. A lot of people, even just like all offseason, just people who are, I got so many texts about even just fantasy football. It sounds stupid, but it kind of gives you like a temperature gauge on what people feel about SAQUON, right? So all we do is love to build people up. And then the second they're there, it's like, how quick can we like say they can't do it again? Or or rip them
Yeah.
down or something. But you're the perfect person to ask about this. People were worried about the wear and tear, the 400-plus touches, the playing into the Super Bowl, all of that. Can that repeat into success? And there are a lot of people out there right now, he's averaging 3.3 yards per carry. He averaged over 5 in 2024. He averaged over 5 through the first 3 weeks last year. He went off to a real hot start right when he got to the Eagles. With what you're looking at and what you know, what's going on there?
I don't think it's much. I think one, when it comes to body, like we were so cutting edge. I felt like in 2000, 2005 with like red laser therapy and what I mean, and so we're just cutting edge. They have so many ways for guys' bodies to last longer. And so I think that Saquon's taking care of his body, so that's good. But then also football's still football. Great defenses know how to take away the team's best thing. And I don't think anybody's going to show up to an Eagles game and be like, let's just chance the run and make sure we stop the pass. And so that's just good defenses going off of what they do. They're going to try to go stop the run first. And so great teammates, especially running backs, would say, hey, they're going to put everybody in the box. I will get all the tough yards and make sure that the play action pass does work. I'll make sure that they have to keep the box tight. Hasselbeck was our quarterback. I used to say, Matt, the box is going to be packed. You know what I mean? Let that thing rip. And so that's just a part of the game. Like, you put 8, you have 7, you run the 8th into the box. Receivers should be open, and that's just a part of football. So there's probably nothing wrong with him as much as the defense are saying, we are not going to let you run. It's grown men. It's the best athletes in the world playing defense that try to stop you from running the ball. So, that's just playing the game. But no one would let a team just gash them with pass plays. So eventually they're going to get out of it, and you'll see him go do what he always does.
I guess, we saw Jalen do last week. He opened it up. That's going to help that. So would you call for more of that? I like that, you have that poster behind you. This is the Madden curse. It's 400 touches, and it's the Madden curse. You're saying that's not this.
No, I don't.
And he's not even struggling. On the call this morning, Shaun, I was like, don't get me, these producers. I was like, do not let me waltz out there and tell Shaun that Saquon is not having a good season. I don't want to look like an idiot, and now I feel like I do a little bit. But I think it's important that you say it, that there's nothing wrong, calm down, they're keying in on him. But then I would ask you, how do they solve that?
Well, the answer is you throw long passes and you blow teams out. You know what I mean? That's what it is. They've got 2 great receivers. You throw the ball deep. Everybody says, well, man, we're not going to just let our teams get blown out in the first quarter because, with their receivers, you can't just single them up the whole game. They will murder you. And so that's what you do is you throw the ball and you let these, will you take a 5-yard run or do you want to take a 25-yard throw over and over and over again? You hit 3 of those in the game, and the whole game is different. So that's how you fix stacking the box. But teams have to stack the box until Jalen throws them out of it. And so, I think he can.
He can.
And I think he can. And I think that's what the Eagles are going to do. So it's not really a thing. And y'all know I don't really believe in the curse because there's 32 tailbacks, there's 32 quarterbacks, 64 guys.
Yeah.
50 of them will not play every game. There's no curse. It's just football. Football's physical. Guys get banged up. It's just a part of it. And what happens is this team scheme the guy that gets to be the cover, and they just go after him. And so when they do, that's the part of it. So a guy getting hurt, that's also part of football. So you'd almost say well, how many MVPs got hurt the next year? It's a lot. You know what I mean? And so now no one wants to be MVP, no one wants to be Madden cover. No, it's just football.
I don't know that you trade your MVP or your Madden cover to have a healthy season the next year. It's hard to do, though. And do you think Saquon can do it? Not even the MVP, but have as great of a year as he's had last year?
Well, I think that 2,000 yards is crazy. You know what I mean? It is such a high number. It's hard to get in the 1800s. And so for you to get into the 1800s, it's kudos. Great job, And so he's done that. Teams are going to scheme that. They're not going to shy away from trying to stop him. He'll have another great year. It's just going to be different.
It's also hard now, Shaun, because there aren't feature backs, and it's making me a little sad.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I'm looking right now, you're saying there's 90 running backs. And I don't really want to study more. I don't want to learn these extra names of these tailbacks that are talking. But it's true. If you look at it, a lot of the top rushing teams this year are doing it by committee. Are we worried about the health of the feature running back?
Well, I just think that when you get a guy that's special, winning the game is still the most important thing. So you would rather have a Saquon be able to finish strong at the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
be in playoffs, and if that counts, some of those runs, even when I was playing, that fourth quarter, I would try to go break a long run and score a couple touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and that because the game would still be close. But if you take a couple of those out, you take 5 or 6 carries out. Now instead of having 350 carries, you might have like 250,
Mm.
and that just adds up. It's better for the body. I like the yards and the touchdowns, but I don't have to worry about they come playing in 2 weeks.
It's so true. I want you to. I want to take a look at the leaderboard for rushing right now. Okay, this is only through 3. We're about to hit week 4 tonight. Your Seahawks, your Cardinals. Get to FanDuel Sportsbook, get your bets in. But here are your rushing yard leaders. I like this list. I'm into this. What? When you see this, even as a collective, where do your eyes go, Shaun? What do you like? What do you see?
I'm really proud of Travis Etienne, Clemson's old guy. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I know Jonathan Taylor. You got to spend some time with him at the Super Bowl. That's really great. Derrick Henry's my nephew. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one that's greater than him for what I want to see happen.
Mm-hmm.
Sean's a super talent. But yeah, it still goes back to Derrick. I mean, he works so hard in the offseason, trains. The Ravens got a good defense. They're always going to play that card, and they've got a fabulous quarterback, so it leaves room for him to go throw the ball or run the ball because he's going to throw it. So, yeah. So Travis Etienne, super proud of him. Love Jonathan. Derrick's my favorite, and so it's good.
Derrick's a lot of people's favorites, and so then it's hard to watch the frustration with these fumbles.
Yeah, yeah. You know, um, Sometimes when you're trying so hard,
Mm-hmm.
you'll forget the most important thing. And so my older brother, Duran, who went to Notre Dame, he used to always say, rule number 1 is protect the football. You know what I mean? And so I would always think that. So if I fumbled, he'd call me up, dude, rule number 1? And I'd be like, yeah, you're right, I'm tripping. Why would there's no such thing as a big run if you don't carry that football. And he's just not paying attention to the keys to keep that thing close to him.
But I mean, it's not that it happened once. So we looked it up this morning. 3 fumbles through 3 games.
Yeah.
2 of them came in really big moments, 2 fourth quarter, right? And he only had 3. He had 3 total fumbles all of 2024. He had 0 in 2023. So what's the math on 3 through 2 games? Three
Yeah,
through 3 games. I apologize.
I think that it's the season before was so good. I think it was the Saquon Barkley jumping off to a hot start. I think it's that competition in him
Huh.
that he is actually not paying attention to the thing that is the most important, which is holding on to the football. So he'll
Okay.
lock in, and he's a big, strong joker. You know what I mean? So he's gonna lock in and hold that ball the right way the rest of the way. But I think it's the effort trying to go make more off every play,
Mm-hmm.
and that's great. But you can't forget to make sure you carry that football high and tight.
Ravens at Chiefs. Anyway, the Chiefs upset. They get to be home. They looked good in the second quarter, even though it was against the Giants on Sunday Night Football. How does this game go?
It's hard to go against Patrick, but I just don't feel like the Chiefs have all the gunpowder that they used to have. And their defense, I don't want to get them all fired up. They're not as good as they were in a couple years. So I think the Ravens are going to win even, and I think they're on the road. So I think the Ravens are going to shock them and pull away with this one.
I do want to ask you about, I thought when you were going to look at that list, I knew you were going to give Derrick Henry love, and maybe we can pull it up, or I don't know if we have Jonathan Taylor footage. I love Jonathan Taylor. I love this for him. I like that there's no Saquon on this list. I like that, not that I want this for Jonathan. I want him to have the top dog spot, and he does, at least right now through the first 3 weeks. How close to 2005 Shaun Alexander can Jonathan Taylor get this year?
It has to flow right in the middle of the season. That's the thing. It's like there's a couple of big games that I had in the middle of that season in '05 that it really just said, they feel like you're bottled up. It's going to be a 50, 70-yard game. And then, you get that one good run in the third quarter. You're like, oh, no, okay, it's going to be about 110. And then you crack a long one in the second half. Saquon did that a lot last year. Jonathan needs to do that. And it's just kind of how the game flows. And if it does, He's got the talent to get in that 1800, 2000, get touch 2000 kind of mark. So, I think he's super talented. He can run and catch and throw he's not scared of the big play. Some guys hope the big play happens. He makes the big play happen, and so so super talented.
There's no less talked about running back.
I agree. I feel for as talented as he is, he kind of gets mentioned. Oh yeah. Oh, and Jonathan. You know what I mean? Like, who are the best? Oh, you got Derrick and Saquon and everybody loves Josh Jacobs and oh yeah. How do we forget Jonathan? Of course Jonathan's in there. Yeah. Bijan. Oh yeah, and Jonathan. Like he's always like the last guy that's on that list, and it's not because he's not talented. The kid's phenomenal. So he is not as talked about as much as he probably deserves.
I'd like to see him on that poster behind you. I think it's tough. It's a tough thing to accomplish. I think he's quiet. I think he plays in a smaller market, but they're undefeated right now. But if you look at it, I mean, he's top 5 all-time in yards per game. Top 5 all-time in yards per game with Jim Brown and ahead of Walter Payton. We don't talk about it. By the way, I just looked at your number. 28 touchdowns is so freaking crazy. Like, there's no world. Shaun, there's no one's touching that. There's no world.
Yeah, that was nuts,
Yeah.
And and to rattle off the way that we did it, it was like 2, 3, 2, 4. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So, it's just not done like that no more. The position of being to go and do that, they'd send Mo's like my little brother. He'd come on the field, I'd send Mo right back off the field. I don't even know if they let guys do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like Coach Hunger would be like, he'd call me up after the game, don't embarrass me, Shaun. But if I send him on the field, don't send him off the field. I'm like, yeah, coach, you're right. You're the coach. Next week you wanna get back off the field. I'm finishing this drive, and it would stir the guys up. You know what I mean? Like,
Of
oh,
course.
come on, let's try to take Shaun out. We got to get it. And so. That's some of that inner team stuff that was
the good old
just
days.
so sweet. Yeah, just so sweet. Where now it's so calculated. It's just a little different.
I wanted to ask you about what you're doing with your wife Valerie. Very, very cool. It's Harvest Covenant Football. It's educational. It's geared towards education and sports, right? Sports opportunities, and also a little faith, a little biblical discipleship to people who maybe. It's like about homeschooling. What do we need to know here? Look at this beautiful family, Shaun. Wow.
Oh, that's so
Oh my
wild.
gosh.
So I wasn't. We're just now starting to tell people, but number 14 is in the belly. Yeah, you're the first one I've told on TV. So on this live. So we're just now starting to tell everybody. So we have had 10 girls, 3 boys. My oldest son, the 4th overall, Joseph, is a sophomore in high school. And, since we homeschooled, they won the Super Bowl in 7th grade and 8th grade. There was no way for him to play in the public schools, at least not in Virginia. And so at DMV, so we created a homeschool co-op, and we invited all the homeschool kids in the area to play football. And we started Harvest Covenant, so we got, great thriving families, individual academics, dynamic sports, and dynamic faith. And so it's all about, helping people become the best version of themselves, teaching them about faith and how to go walk this out. And it just happens that we get to play some great football. And I've got some boys that can play, that they're some college
Really?
kids that play college football. It's you just don't know until they get out there. One of our kids, Kai Baumberger, he first carry ever, 80-yard touchdown, and we played in Lucas Oil Stadium.
Wow.
And he came out because his little brother wanted to play. He was a freshman, and he's a senior. My wife's like, son, you should play. You're built kind of like Shaun. Down the sideline, first play, and so
Wow.
we've got some kids that can play. It's really good. Leo Lamora, he's a defensive end, 6'3", 255. Ohio State, Bama, Clemson. He kind of fits the purpose. And
Look how proud you are.
The right kids. Yeah. It's fun watching these boys grow.
Yeah. I'm listening to everything you're saying, Shaun, but I'm stuck on how many children?
You know what? It's
How many?
really wild. This will be number 14.
Number 14. I want you to look at this. Phillip Rivers, get to work. That's what I want to say.
They slacking.
Philip, you think Philip steals headlines with 10. You only have 10 children, Philip. Get a grip. We should take his Hall of Fame away and give it to you.
Yeah, I want my kids to see the Hall of Fame. Am I asking too much?
Literally, but I mean, Philip clearly doesn't. I don't know why we're giving Philip this moniker of like, he has a football. You're on child 14, and I want them to be in Canton. I will ask you what your relationship is quickly with Canton right now, and congrats on the final ship. Final, you know what I'm saying.
They're walking through. Everybody tells me there's a log jam, especially with running back. I do love the fact that I am one of 10 guys with 100 rushing touchdowns. And so, that's my anchor.
Okay.
That we got there. There's only 10 guys ever. Only 3 that are not in the Hall of Fame is me, Adrian Peterson, and Derrick Henry. So, there's a good chance. I don't try to get upset or get offended about what's happening. I just always let everybody know that I do believe I belong. So they always want to say, "Hey, Shaun, you got to tell them you feel like you belong." I do. And that the process should be that all the guys that have 100 touchdowns should get in.
Adrian will get in. He's eligible in 2027. You're going to get in before him. I'm sure he's watching to see what happens with you. You've been nominated 11 times. You have more children than times you've been nominated, but it's getting up there. We can't let those numbers pass each other's paths here. You've never made the semifinalist stage, but I feel like, man, I'm looking at that resume. Logjam, it must be that. Your best 3 years, I would put up against any running back who's ever played the game, and boom, you should be in. That's what it is. Also, the longevity of your career. I think we downplay what that is. 10 plus, 10 plus year career. Patrick Willis, TD still. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the last 2 years, if I would have went in, I would have been a headliner. You know what I mean? So
I feel you on that.
So I feel like people would be like, "Who went in?" And they're like, I think if I went in, everybody would be like, "Oh yeah, he should go in." So hopefully it happens. I'll be excited when it does, and then you'll be invited.
Yay! So. Thank you. Yes, I will be child number 15. Thank you so much, Shaun Alexander. People can learn more about harvestcovenant.org. Congrats on the new baby. Thank you for sharing that news, and go Seahawks tonight against the Cardinals. Hopefully they can get the run game nice and efficient. Thank you, Shaun.
Seahawks, Bama, Harvest.
Oh, yes.
We got 3 games this week.
Babies.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Y'all are busy over there.
Yeah, we are.